How about my dearest YouTube friends? Today we are in a new video, a new monthly tier list, and in this case belonging to the month of June 2025. Let's see all the news about the new characters that Kavan has included this month, new 7 characters, and also character demotions and promotions. And they don't pass without taking into account the buzz of Captain Britain then. Friends, remember that this Excel is in the description of absolutely all the videos accessible for you, so you can see which character you will have to level up and which one to prioritize, and remember that it is one TR list of the channel. Friends, because you will simply be leaving comments. For example, if I am full deadless, do you consider that it should be further down? Well, basically here you have to insert a comment, which is what we are going to analyze in the future tier list in this case. We are going to analyze the comments that subscribers have been giving us this month. Okay, so our friend Gonzalo Vasquez, what he tells us in Kitty Price herself is because she goes down. Okay? Because in this case, we will talk about the descent of this character later. But while we're at it, we'll talk about it here because he descends right now that he was rising from 6 stars to rank 5. I was going to give him Primordial Dust. Is it worth it to keep doing it, or is it better to use it? Other resources in others' thanks, greetings, to which in this case another subscriber answers that he says it must be because it is not used much. Nowadays in Battlegrounds it is not top, and if you want to advance it in story mode you don't occupy it much, and in war it is more of the same. But if your account is not very high, you like to play with it, or you are good, using it is still good option to ascend. Keep in mind that the owner of this template no longer holds the 6 stars. He himself has mentioned it in his videos. Indeed folks, why do we descend to our friend Kitty Pride? Because not anymore. It is used, it is true that for small accounts, it may be useful when you have a 6-star one. Let's remember that the 7-star version of this character has not yet been released. It is still a semi-GO tier. Remember that all the 6 stars that are not coming out in 7, we are lowering little by little from the tier list. Okay, but still, it is a piece of character. Give this character a powder. Even if you see it in semi-GO tier, it is totally worth it. Above all, you have to know how to use it. Okay, then let's go. Let's mark it as solved. Let's go to the next one. Friends here tell us in Black Hat. Here we have it that Andres Jaimes is here only for utility, or he also lacks the method of obtaining it, because for me it is Ghost tier. Well, here friends, Black Hat, we have to talk about this character. Let's remember that it can only be obtained in the Alliance Crystal, okay? You have to spend all those Alliance credits, and it is complicated to get it. He's still a character. Pretty good. In this case, I have it in semi-GO tier, and what Andres says is to raise it to GO tier, but for me, I don't consider it to be GO tier because it lacks a little push in defense to be GO tier and apart. Black Hat is complicated to use. It is true that you have to know how to play with it a lot. As I put it here in the emoticon icon, you have to know how to play with it because you have to be trying with the hard blow. You have to know how to develop it. Okay, that's why in this case we leave it in semi God tier. Okay, we figure it out. There we have it very well. Next friends, we are going for Classic July, which basically tells us by apologizing the stupid question, the little red star, what does it mean? Because the awakened ability is in the link. Well, for that very reason, because there is the ability to awaken friends. We are also going to Jim Gray because what Danonino tells us is hello, sorry. I think Jim Gray should be promoted to God tier because she is very good in both defense and attack, since she has massive damage with a very simple rotation and leaves controls reversed. Here friend, I have to totally agree with you. In fact, we have it analyzed on the channel. In fact, you can go to those who are in red, you can go to them with a click and it directly redirects you to the character's video. And indeed, Danonino, I am with you. Jim Gray is leaving 4. Okay, he's a piece of character in both defense and offense. Jim Gray is going to be of great use to you, especially on defense for those inverted controls. So we mark Jim Gray solved. Okay, because he's not here, he's got the top. I already said it on Christ's behalf. G1, okay, we give it. What else do we have? Our friend Quicksilver here, what Francisco Pastran has told us. My brother tells us a question. Does this list apply to all categories of stars or only to those of 7? I haven't played in a long time and now I've resumed again and I have a good time characters of 4 and 5. This helps me know which ones are up and which ones are not. Indeed, it works for all the characters, but in this one, it is also more derived from the 7-star characters. But still, the 6-star characters that you don't see with the purple icon can perfectly belong to Go Uncle, especially those that are in Semi-Gotele. So it's a tier list for everyone. Okay, what else do we have? Well, what are they putting us here? Agon, we already marked this very comment as resolved last month, but in this case, it is another decline. We see it throughout this video, and it is no longer enjoyment. In my opinion, a lot of development, and it is not 7 stars. It is not like Cosmic or K-Visor that one occupies it, being up to 6 Chelis, Crossbone or Bulls. In this case, I have to give it to you totally. The Egon Reason is going to descend, and in this case, Louvre will descend later. And here we have finished the comments that have been given to us by the community. Remember that you can be posting those comments in the way that I have taught you. Okay, friends, we're going for the new characters. We have Nico Minoru, a character who is a little witch who is quite good, and who in this case I consider that she needs to have the ability awakened and for a good uniqueness, so that her performance due to those disadvantages of poisoning are even greater and cause more damage. But then, friends, she is also a very good defender, thanks to those who have given her that adrenaline issue. And in defense, what she is going to do is recover a lot of life as we take it away from her for that very reason. At the moment, it is being used a lot in defense, and I consider that in attack it is also quite good, and that is why it is going to land in God tier. Okay, Nico Minuro, for me, it's quite God tier. We are leaving with Karolina Dina. Friends, Karolina Dina is a character that in this case, Kaban has finally brought us a character that does not require duplication to get her full potential. Therefore, if you want to take him without his duplicate, it will serve you a lot because the damage as such already has it. What it does to you may be some point. One more museum of some extra damage, but it's not important to me at all. Karolina din simply has to be working without her duplicate, and we are that lucky. And the only thing here is that I have to highlight, and that's why I have put the emoticon. And you have to know how to play with it, because in this case we have a different gameplay than what we normally have to bring. We have to hit a few blows and stay in the light so that we have that power copy and throw super attacks 1 and 2 to do that massive. With Karolina Dim through disadvantages of incineration. Therefore, for now, I am going to pin this character on Ghost tier, but we will have to see how both Nico Minoru and Karolina Dim develop. Okay, friends, here we do a good brief. We are not going to finish with the character of Captain Britain and the Human Torch first, because friends have brought us the Captain Britain bug this month, which is a bug that really none of us had it. Order. In fact, we thought Captain Britannia already had her use. Well, despite the buff, it would have been good if it had been removed from 7 stars. And let's remember that it has now become the new Platinum track, the new last objective to get this character from 7. Captain Britannia is a character that the buff they have done to her is good, but its development is quite slow. It requires throwing Super Attack 3 to be able to gain those massive efficiencies and that power effectiveness to be able to do that damage. The only good thing he has is that his defense has improved a little. That's why I put the emoticon, because they have put the safeguard feature on it that basically makes them take away less from you. And then it also has the bonus that they have put the Neurosoft disadvantage on it. Therefore, it does even more damage, in this case, Captain Britannia. I'm going to be putting it in semi-ghost tier, although here I have quite a few doubts about whether or not to put it in semi-ghost tier, maybe. The day it falls was usable. You leave a few comments what you think. And friends, remember that on this 4th of July, in fact, at the end of this week, we have the offers for the 4th of July, and in which Kavan has already told us that the last hitom on the website is going to be this 7-star Human Torch. So friends, this character was already Gozier in itself with Primordial Powders, because now he is more so with 7 stars, and that is why we have nailed him to Gozier, because he is a very good character, a Mystic Killer 4. And now that we are going to give it 7 stars, even more. In fact, he is a character that does not require duplication, does not require anything, not even knowing how to play with him. The only thing you have to know about him is the prelude to the Nova Flame, so that preventing his creations from becoming new flames is already a task. Now yes, friends, let's move on to the 7 prestige stars, the relic, and the statistics. Because friends, I already have the entire list updated, okay? So if you want to pass on, I recommend that you see it, because here are all the relics, statistics, and everything. That's right. Here, this prestige is based on the 7 stars, rank 4, and that they are for 200. Okay, in this case, we are going to see how these new characters that we just talked about enter, and we are talking about Nico Minoru that we already know is in 38th place in prestige with a prestige of 28,025. Okay, I'm missing a little point there, and well, in this case, Mr. Sister is not Scarlet Puigs. Okay, I forgot to put it on. There we are, we put it on. A perfect moment, and it is that of Scarlet Witch. It is the best for this character since we are going to be able to gain power. And the statistics for attack are those of stronger super attacks and block penetration. So let's put it where it should be in position 38. Here we have it. And we put it here, we go with Karolina Din, who in this case enters the top 20 of prestige, and that is place 14, nothing more than 33,469 prestige LA. The relic that requires it most is Miss Marvel, and in statistics in the attack, I would put precision and defense, penetration in blocking. So in this case, Captain Aiden, well, the truth is here for us. In other words, this character has risen quite well. Captain Britain, as we already have him with 7 stars available in the game, as I said on the Platinum track, since he also has his updated prestige of 7 stars, in this case Captain Britain, we have analysis 350 prestige, the best relic. The Storm, the one in attack, is more damage due to super attacks and blockade penetration. We go to position 40, in this case to Iron here by lowering it a little place. There we have it. And finally, we leave with Human Torch. Yes, it is true that Human Torch has never had prestige, but not at all powerful. And what it does is drop it almost to position 142. The truth is that our Human Torch friend has no prestige at all, but he is still a piece of character. We make tier list friends again this way. I would just remember that this is in the tabs below in case you want to see what the prestige is, what are the best characters you should be carrying the prestige to put it on, and so on. And above all, also the relics and attacks and defense in the form of statistics. We are leaving now with the descents, and as we have said before, with Aegon, we are going to descent him. I already consider him a character that is more destined for long fights, but in this case, the long fights are no longer that long. Therefore, Aegon is no longer required as much. There are better characters to give those long fights like Kate Viz or Suri or any other character that has been coming out to us, for example, Norstar or something like that. So Aegon for me is far, far behind. I feel sorry because he is a very good character, but until we see him from 7 stars in rank 3, rank 4 and have him for 200, we are not going to be able to discover his potential again. Even so, it is a piece of character, and if you have to do it in black, you have to do long content. Still one of the best. We're not going for Kitty Pride. This decline really hurts me. As I told you before, a couple of subscribers have commented on it. In this case, it hurts me a lot to put this character down. I really like the way he plays. He reminded me. It reminds me, so to speak, of a ghost, but conversely, you simply have to go forward to generate the fault and take it by 200 to avoid damage from any source. Apart from that, let's remember that with the synergy of Tigra, you become unlockable when you are in failure mode, therefore it improves the gameplay. So I know this character is going to go up to Boutier as soon as we have it 7 stars, and we can match it for 200 because I already tell you that it is a very, very good character. But for now, friends, it has to stay here in semi-goth tier. What else do we have? Well, Iron Man Superior, friends. Many have already asked me in the official WhatsApp group to remember that we have it in the description of all the videos in case you want to stop by and join the Iron Man Superior community. It was set as goth tier as a result of his buffing. What happens is that in reality, Iron Man Superior has not been used in almost any battlegrounds goal, almost any war, almost any feat. So in this case, the buff is still very good. And I'm going to put it in semi-go tier. It's worth telling me if you are happy with this descent. For me, I think he should be in semi-go tier. And finally, in today's video of this monthly tier list for June, we are going to download Joaquin Torres from semi-go tier, who we had put here at usables. There are many memes out there that they are touching this character in the Titans, and it is touching a lot of people, and it is not a good character. Actually, Kaban should be playing it. well, for certain long fights, and on top of that, you have to know how to play with it, but you don't get the character's fully effective damage quickly, so it makes it usable. So friends, well, leave me the comments that you thought of these promotions, these downgrades that you would change, and above all, remember that you have this Excel in all the descriptions of all the videos so that you can put the comments and we analyze it for the next one, dire list Manson. So friends, now continue. If I say goodbye, is that if you like the video, suggest no style, and see you in other videos. Bye bye.